What are some common evasion techniques used by attackers to bypass DFI?
Yeah, so a couple things come to mind here. First and foremost, it's just basically hiding in plain sight, right? So if we have a very light file, maybe the file has simply a link to a Google document spreadsheet, right? There's really nothing inherently malicious about the file, and there's certainly nothing malicious about having a link to a Google hosted document. But that might just be the first click on the series of many clicks to get you to some phishing site, for example. Right?
Mhm.
This is like a phishing indirection. This is difficult for us because it requires actively going out and fetching content for us to go analyze the next phase, and perhaps there's a capture along the way as well. You
Mhm.
may receive now a malicious, in the end, it's a malicious email, but the email itself is not malicious. The first link is not malicious. The second link is not malicious. In some cases, the third and fourth links aren't even malicious, but eventually you get to some actual phishing site. So, in the same way that attackers originally took this asymmetric advantage of making the humans do the work to unpack the sample, now they're making the humans do the work to follow the lily pad chain all the way to the end of the pond where the phishing exploit or whatever is, where the threat is actually embedded. Another thing to look at though is on the obfuscation front itself. We have in addition to, of course, machine learning models, we still do leverage some signature-based technology. Now, we're not writing signatures for independent pieces of malware. Sometimes we'll write a signature for a specific CVE, but to put it in perspective, we've been in business and plus now OPSWAT for 13 years, and we
Mhm.
have something like 4,000, 5,000 signatures. Right? These signatures are not written to detect a specific malware sample. They're really designed to codify the things that an analyst sees when they are analyzing samples,
Mhm.
right? There's these little mental notes that we make, and we're
Mhm.
trying to get those mental notes captured as signatures. And then that information is passed to a threat scoring engine, which is looking at everything, signal from us, signal from core, signal from entropy, signal from reputation, myriad of different things, like 15 to 20 different factors that go into it to make the actual decision. One of those subsets is detection of obfuscation. The thing with obfuscation is it's pretty obvious, right? We can see it. Now, obfuscation doesn't necessarily mean maliciousness. It could be a digital rights management. And in fact, I have seen digital rights management for Excel spreadsheet code, for example. Like they've got some
Mhm.
fancy macro logic that they think is trade secrets, and they want to keep that secret. So one of our tactics is as we are looking at samples, and if we come across an obfuscation layer, we will attempt, and we have a bunch of different static analysis approaches for deobfuscating. But we will
Mhm.
also alert on the obfuscation, and the presence of the obfuscation alone is going to add to this risk score. So this is where I would say it's when we need to do an active analysis to chase something down the web, or maybe there's some active analysis required to decompose the file, like it requires like a runtime environment, or you even need to get to the point of doing some form of like emulation. These
Mhm.
are the areas that start become a little bit more difficult,
Yeah.
and that's where
Now,
augmented solutions like sandboxing and core and everything else come into play.